Hey friends, how's it going? It's Erin with What a Witch Knows. Happy solstice, happy Yule. So today is the Sabbath that witches call Yule. It's also known as the winter solstice. It's the shortest day and the longest night of the year, at least here in the northern hemisphere. Obviously, in the southern hemisphere, it's the opposite. So I just want to apologize if you're watching from the southern hemisphere because all of the symbolism for me is so linked to darkness around this time of year that it's a little bit hard for me to imagine this time of year as being the brightest, but I know it is. I know it is in a different place. And that actually feels really relevant now that I bring that up. I, once again, have not written a script. This is going to be kind of like one of those off the cuff videos. I was listening to a podcast earlier today. I forgot the gentleman's name, but I will link it below. And it was talking about how the winter solstice is about sort of finding that light within you, your connection to spirit, essentially. And when you find that light within you, that is a way that you connect to spirit, to everyone, the web, the interconnected web of everyone and everything that's alive and conscious and powerful. And that felt really powerful for me. There's a lot of symbolism around light at this time of year for witches. A lot of the symbolism from Christmas has been taken from pagan traditions. So the Christmas lights on the Christmas tree, Yule log, lighting candles, that type of thing. It's really all centered around welcoming back the sun into your life after a time of very profound darkness. And that felt really real for me this year. That really hit, and I know that a lot of us have really been going through it and dealing with, grief and darkness and sadness and just heaviness, especially with Pluto and Capricorn. Now we're coming into Pluto and Aquarius. Things feel a lot more free, but also a lot more uncertain and a lot less stable. But there's that sense of hope that I think that we were missing with Pluto and Capricorn. So it feels good. It's kind of a time of reflection for me. I don't know if you guys were feeling this, but for a while everything was like chaotic, like super chaotic. My life was just felt like it was all over the place. I was traveling, I was here, I was there. And now I'm back home. I was going to do more traveling to visit my family for Christmas, but unfortunately, like, I won't bore you with the long series of unfortunate events, but it's looking like I won't be able to go be with my family for Christmas this year, which is, it's sad and bummed, but I'll be with my chosen family, my good friends here in New York, so I'm happy about that too. But I just wanted to hold space because I know that can be a really hard time of year for people, especially people who are feeling alone, or people who don't have family, or people who are missing family, or passed on loved ones, that type of thing. Which I know that a lot of us deal with that. I'm certainly dealing with that as well. It can be sort of a bittersweet time of year where you see that hope and that positivity, but you're also you're really grieving, and you're really there's people that you're really missing. And I'm gonna sorry, I'm just like getting emotional as I say that because I'm okay. But um, I lost my grandmother a few years ago, and she was a really important part of my life. And there's just been a lot of grief coming up, I think, in general, but that's one of the ways it's been manifesting. And I know for and I just wanted to like connect with you guys and hold space for you guys because I feel it too. Like I feel the grief. And I have people that I miss and people that I can't be with. And it's hard. It's hard. So anyway, I'm gonna like stop myself up here, but sorry, that was it's funny because like I feel like the second I press record, like the emotions sometimes will just like hit me out of nowhere, kind of unexpectedly. And this is not the first time it's happened. But anyway, I'm okay. So I wanted to share with you guys. I mean, I think it's real. Like I think grief is really part of what we're all dealing with right now. And that finding that light inside of yourself is part of the way that we connect to spirit and also connect with you know, all of our loved ones that are still here as well, too, right? Like around this time of year, like, I mean, I'm like old fashioned, but I love to do like Christmas cards and things like that. And, maybe they're people that I haven't seen in a while or talked to in a while, but they're people that still like really are important and like dear friends that I love very much. And it's just sort of like a nice excuse to be able to connect. Um, and one thing that I was thinking about too was that like, during the Christmas Eve service, which I would go to every year with my mom, we often do like, if you're Christian, you might be familiar with this. There's a candlelight Christmas Eve service, and so everybody gets a candle, and then the pastor tells you to kind of like, hold the candle just like below your face, and he's like, so it's like illuminating only your own face, and then he asks you to raise the candle, and everyone raises the candle at the same time, and the whole church is illuminated. And he says, see what happens when you bring that light, and shine it above yourself, shine it so the whole world can share it with you. So to me, that really has a lot to do with what the winter solstice is about, finding that light inside of ourselves, welcoming it back, and finding a way, even when we feel really sad, to share it, to share our light with the rest of the world. There's this really pretty Zach Bryan song. It's a love song. It's called "Son to Me," and it has this really beautiful lyric about how his mother tells him to find a person that plants flowers in the darkest parts of him, and how that person can like help him grow. And I thought that was really beautiful. And I started thinking about that in relation to grief, and how we can think of grief as kind of like soil. Like I've heard people say like, grief is love with nowhere to go. And that doesn't, like, I get that, but at the same time, I'm like, we're not giving it enough of its proper like due. Like I think grief is a lot more than that. I think it's a very like fertile opportunity for us to grow. And I think if we can see it as soil, and if we can plant seeds in that soil and allow sun in, I think that really, really beautiful things can come out of it. And it's just about like, this is something that witches believe in very much, is embracing the darkness as much as the light, because they're both very much just different sides of the same coin. Like if you think of the yin yang symbol, it's very much that. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot. Anyway, before I got derailed by the emotions, I was talking about how like my life was really chaotic, and then it was like, okay, well, I actually can't travel like right now, so I'm just gonna like pause and reflect. And it's sort of, I think that's what it was that invited in the grief, was just like that pause in the chaos. And that's very much what the winter solstice, I think, is about, is taking that pause to reflect on, you know, on your connection to spirit, and the ways in which that you can invite things in your life to grow that might just be like seeds at this point. And it doesn't have to be all positive. Like it might be darkness playing a role in that growth as well. And that's okay. Like I think you just have to like accept the fact that you are all of those things. You are dark and you are light, but you're always growing, right? You're always growing through that darkness. You're always growing through that pain, no matter what. And that's what's like so beautiful to me about the winter solstice, and especially all of the symbolism around it, the light. So I don't usually do rituals unless I'm guided, but I'm feeling pretty strongly guided to do a ritual this solstice, using some kind of candle magic or like candle symbolism, and just sort of setting that intention to welcome the light and the sun back into my heart. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, especially if you're going through grief, or if you're going through something hard. That might be something that would be helpful for you. Just to set that intention to really welcome that, and think about something. Think about the dark parts of yourself, and think about something growing. something growing there. And then just, kind of sit back and nurture that and see where that can go. So I hope that helps. I love you guys so much. Thank you for letting me be vulnerable. I appreciate that. Sorry for the emotion. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful winter solstice, and I will talk to you very soon. Blessed be.